Hi. Sorry for coming a bit late in past few days because my state's election is going on and it is keeping me much busier. And we saw all those attacks on Israel by Hamas. Now, as an analyst, we must analyze why the intelligence failed because it was a big blunder, it was a big failure of Israeli intelligence. And I say not only Israeli intelligence but also American intelligence because America is very active in that particular region. In whole of the Middle East, it is very active, and especially in Israel Palestine, it is very active. So, why the intelligence agencies failed in both the countries, as well as why the governments both in Israel as well as in Washington failed. So first coming to Israel, and as far as the intelligence agencies in Israel is concerned, I think they became complacent and they were thinking that now it's not possible, it is almost impossible that Gazans can attack or Hamas can attack. I should not use the word Gazans, but I should use the word Hamas. Hamas can attack them in this nature, and it was a big attack. If thousands of people, what is coming in news, that thousands of Hamas people attacked Israel, so they entered from the border and the security checkups failed there. They entered from land, sea, as well as air. So, where all that security went, and also why the intelligence failed. And I think the complacent attitude of Israeli intelligence was the main reason. But what about government? I think the politicians were so much involved in their local politics, in preserving and maintaining their own government, that they were also complacent. And complacent, why I am saying? Because it was Egypt who already informed them that something might come upon you, but they ignored those things. Even their intelligence ignored. And one thing, what I think about Israel is that intelligence agencies also have been politicalized, and not only agencies but also other institutions, because we see so many of defense ministers or high portfolio cabinet members of Israel who were on big posts there in the Israeli Defense Force. So, this leads to the politicalization of institution, and if the institutions are politicalized, they lose their professional efficiency. So there is some compromise with the professional ability of Israeli institutions because of the political nature which the people serving in those institutions, not institutions are not political, but people serving in those institutions have developed. And I think there must be a long cooling period for high post officials in these establishments before they can enter into politics. Then why Washington failed? Because if Egypt informed Tel Aviv, definitely they have informed Washington as well, and they also ignored, especially the government structure there in Washington. And the main reason is the type of fight going on between Republicans as well as Democrats. They are very busy in their own internal politics, and particularly Joe Biden, who right now is showing himself a very strong person, is very much embattled within himself, because we know Hunter Biden, and Hunter Biden is not an asset for Joe Biden. He is a big liability for that old man, on the shoulders of that old man. So Joe Biden and his administration were very much involved in their political infightings, in the personal affairs of Biden family, as well as if you look at the NSA of United States, he was fully involved in Ukraine. So they forgot everything else. And I think these are the reasons behind the intelligence failure, both from Tel Aviv as well as from Washington. In our next video in the same Israel Palestine series, we will talk about what next. because so much is happening there on the ground. So we will discuss all those things also in detail.